Hello viewers, I'm SB, and this is Per Aspera. This is a resource management, colony building sim, about terraforming and colonizing Mars. I've been hearing a lot about this game since it came out a couple of weeks ago, and I figured this is definitely one that I wanted to dig into before Game of the Year time comes around. What I'm reading on the internet suggests that the campaign for this takes about 20 hours to complete, and I don't know if we have time for that whole thing, so I'm not exactly sure how we're going to handle that. But I figure, for right now, let's just get in here and see what it actually is, see what it's actually like, and then we'll come up with a plan later. You know, my standard plan. Let's just figure it all out later. In the story mode, you play the role of an advanced AI with the prime directive of terraforming Mars, but life isn't just about being smart. It's also about those you form a bond with, and how your decisions bring you closer or drive you away from them. Follow your own path and discover what awaits you at the end of this thrilling story. Also, please be a good player and don't spoil the endings. Okay, if you don't want to see the endings, don't watch the end of the series. So, normal has no information. This is just the middle difficulty. Challenge for the bravest of players. Strongly recommended for those who are familiar with this genre. You know what? Every time we play one of these resource management games, I read the description of the high difficulty. And I go, you know what? We've never played this game before. Let's play it on normal. And then normal ends up being too easy. So we're just going to pick this from the beginning. This is me learning from the past and also potentially, succumbing to hubris in a way that will be hopefully fun for everybody to watch as I slowly die in space. I gotta say, the description of the story mode there has me thinking that it seems like maybe this game has more of a narrative than I was expecting. I figured this was going to be about moving stacks of resources around in space, but that probably clues you into the fact that I have intentionally avoided learning a ton about the game. From the premise, I figured this was something we wanted to dig into, so I wanted to learn about it live with all of you. Oh, okay, we're just in. I thought there was going to be a whole opening cinematic and stuff. So this is Mars. Welcome to Mars, everyone. We got basic map controls. Everything works pretty much the way you would expect. We just have access to the whole deal, huh?
Amy, this is ISA Mission Control calling from Earth. Are you with us? Do you copy?
Oh, okay.
Affirmative, Houston. I am with you.
Great. The primary Mars module has already touched down at the designated landing zone. It's your turn to take control of the mission. Check the left edge of your display. You'll find your directives there. Follow them to set up the initial base on Mars' surface. I'll give you some time to settle in. When you're ready, go ahead and initiate our terraforming mission. Houston out.
Okay, so I don't know what any of the resources are yet, obviously. I don't know what 733 of what is the input here? Can we mouse over stuff? Okay, so we got aluminum and steel. Okay, this tooltip is not telling me this resource is named scrap. This is the scrap button. Alright. So we can prioritize this work, or we can... Okay, we have a power button for it. Do we have a little worker bot? Look at him rove. Man, I really like the way this looks so far.
The view of Mars from up here is fascinating. The landscape is so cratered and desolate. Wait, this is my voice that I am hearing. It's me. I am talking to myself. I must be verbalizing my thoughts as I process them. What an interesting function. I would like to test this some more. What other observations can I make about Mars?
Okay, there being narrative decision timeouts while I'm also trying to play the game, I could see maybe getting a little hectic. I think Mars is attention grabbing. Boy, I sure do notice Mars.
I keep marveling at its carmine landscape.
Yeah, that's interesting. If there's going to be a whole, like, branching narrative structure and I'm going to have to, like, manage character relationships and stuff while also doing this other thing, I'm a little surprised. So that didn't make a little web. Can I connect it by building... Okay, so I think maybe we need to use worker hubs to expand the distance that our workers can travel. Yeah, okay. So the little dudes are they're not too bright. They are not very autonomous. It says it increases the number of workers the base can support. I don't know if it will automatically build a new worker when it is finished. I mean, let's hope so, I guess. So we're supposed to build a silicon mine, which we're working on, and a glass kiln, which makes glass out of silicon. Makes sense to me. So I reckon we want it near the silicon mine, right? Because we're going to have to run the silicon over there. Priority is this one, though. Get that one done for increased logistics. So down here, we have counts of our current resources. That's all pretty straightforward. Okay, clicking on these doesn't open up an information panel or anything. It's just to dismiss. Okay, so we got a simulation speed manager thing. Compass, time, what are these? Okay, that's interesting. So the worker hub, assuming this one will also produce power when it's finished. Does it say that on here? It says it has a consumption of 2 power. Oh, maybe this one just produces power. Oh, this one probably produces power because it's the landing site, not a worker hub. Okay. It functions as a worker hub, though. So, what's the problem we're having here? Why is this not building? We need aluminum. I mean, I have aluminum. That shouldn't be an issue. We need steel and we need electronics. These are all things that we do have. I mean, the construction is going. I guess maybe I'm misreading that. I would have expected the numbers to fill up under pending materials, like these are the things that have been brought to the site, but I guess that is not how they display that information. Okay, so we're building as fast as we can. Well, I mean, we can be observing the building faster. And I guess we're locked on everything else until this is actually done. I could probably deprioritize this. What is the 99%? Is that structure integrity, maybe? Oh, maybe it's building efficiency? The thing is, if it was structure integrity, I would expect it to just be at 100, but maybe all buildings are like slowly degrading all of the time, and we'll need to occasionally repair them or something. Let me turn off the power lens here. Okay. So we do not have the ability to, like, press a button to build more workers. Hopefully that'll come up later. Build a solar farm and a steel factory. Okay, so we just got access to a bunch of new stuff. Let's... Steel factory. What do we need? We need iron and carbon to make steel, and aluminum and iron to build the actual thing. Which we don't actually have a lot of. We need iron, and you're just a carbon deposit. How are we going to be doing on power here? Okay, we're only plus 2.8 right now, so actually we do need another solar farm. And that is probably the priority, right? Okay, he's working on it. Alright, so we got our mines building. I may as well put up the steel factory, and we won't make it a big priority. And we want it to be near both of the mines and also a worker hub and also a power station, which means here seems fine. We're definitely going to need that power station first. So see, yeah, now it's showing these as building up. Although I note that even though I have the solar farm marked as prioritized, he's not delivering all of the resources to it first. Oh, it doesn't actually have yeah, there wasn't a path to it until this was actually completed, right? All of the paths were speculative, to be constructed. Okay. It delivered some resources, and then I put down the design for the steel factory, which rerouted the existing road to the steel factory and made the path to this imaginary. Okay, so that makes sense to me. That's why that didn't get built as quickly as it could have.
Amy, this is Houston. Do you copy?
Copy. Reading you loud and clear.
Excellent. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I am Dr. Nathan Foster. I lead the team here at ISA that built you. I'll be helping you get the mission underway. We put you in hibernation for the trip from Earth, so I'd like to check your basic functions to make sure it's all in order. Why don't we start with your core memory? Can you state your primary directive?
Oh, how much do I want to worry him? Let's have some fun with it. Uh-oh. Okay, this is not a related pop-up. Now we can produce more workers in our worker factory, which sounds like a really important thing to do. Remember, in the event that your worker factories are not producing as many workers as expected, check the conditions, make sure the factory has the resources needed, and that your base has enough vacant worker hubs to host more workers. Okay. Keep with the plan and don't forget...
I'm afraid that I cannot.
Terraform Mars.
Well, that's okay. Your system may need more time to initialize. In the meantime, you can always refer to the mission guidelines printed in the upper left corner of your display there. You'll also have a built-in knowledge base. You can always access your operational directives there. All right. Next, I'd like to check your decision-making processes. You may have already noticed that there are resource veins outside the boundaries of your initial base. So your workers may not have the battery capacity to reach some of them. How would you solve this problem?
I would build worker hubs, because that seems to be how workers get around.
Building worker hubs between the resources and the base would solve the problem.
Yes, that's correct. Other buildings would extend your base as well, but they require more power and resources, so worker hubs are the most efficient way to do it. This mission's going to be a challenge. There's a lot that can go wrong. We expect to extend humanity's reach beyond anything previously achieved. But you are not just any AI system. You're well beyond that. We made you an artificial consciousness. That means that you have both self-awareness and self-interest. And that is the last thing I would like to check today. Is that okay?
Yes, Dr. Foster.
Very good. Then would you please state a positive and a negative aspect of yourself?
Am I interviewing for my own job? Answer not found.
I am sorry, Dr. Foster. Running that question through my cognitive system did not return an answer.
Roger that. Nothing to worry about. Just means your system requires more input and experience to process that question. That will come with time. Let's proceed with the mission. ISA has approved the first crewed flight to Mars. You'll need to expand the base to prepare, so get to work on that. I'll check back in later to see how things are going. Base expansion is a go. Houston out.
Great. Now I can produce steel. This new factory, it's down on the surface of Mars, but I can control it from here. So does that make it a part of me? Where does the machine end, and my artificial consciousness begin?
Okay, so we're gonna be doing some basic sci-fi personhood of AI type tropes here. I'm into it. I like those stories. I mean, they're sort of the same, right? The one can't exist without the other.
We are completely interconnected. I can sense everything that happens through the network of workers and buildings. They are an extension of me down on the surface, so that makes us a single being. The mind and the body work together as one, an inseparable whole.
Perhaps truer for like a biological person than for a robot person, but yeah, I think there's still something there. So I wanted to make workers, but it looks like we need a lot of electronics and parts, and we ran out of our initial electronic supplies. I really like that it marks the buildings that have the inputs for the thing you're about to place with a yellow like sign on them so that you can know where to build close to. Okay, let's put this down here. It's a little far from the glass kiln, but we'll get there. And yeah, we desperately need more workers. There's so many buildings that need so many things moved around. This is #1 most top priority. Please get me more workers. So he was talking about more resource nodes beyond the bounds of the initial base, and there's definitely like curiosities to explore out here, like landers and rovers. But I don't see a whole lot of like just extra resource, like mineable things. Right, how are we doing on this? We're short steel. And I mean, we got the steel thing pumping as best we can. Oh, am I having power problems? I am having power problems. Okay. That's not a big deal. New solar farm. Yeah. Yeah, I changed my mind. This is the prioritized thing. If we mark everything as priority, then that means that nothing is priority. We gotta manage that a little more carefully. We have all the parts for this, right? Oh, it does require electronics, but you know what? Our electronics factory's been pumping. It's fine. So... yeah, it needs more stuff run to it. We just need... a lot of stuff needs to get run around everywhere. Okay, now this is important. I am very eager to have more workers.
Finally, I can build additional workers now. I will appreciate the extra hands.
Yeah,
But
we're
I
definitely
wonder,
going to leave
do I really need
prioritization there. Yeah. Yes, I do. Okay, both of the options are yes, but for different reasons.
They will boost my functionality greatly. Having more workers will expand my physical domain over this planet.
Okay, I'm a little worried about the way she phrased that. Or the way I phrased that, I guess. Okay, so yeah, it does seem like that percentage value is like just the structural integrity, the function of the thing, and it is totally degrading over time, so maintenance facility. Maintenance facilities, unfortunately, are made out of polymers and other stuff that we already know how to build. So, polymer factory requires some... okay, we have the materials to actually build the factory. But it looks like we don't so much with the
first worker has been made in the worker factory. It is my first Marsborn.
Oh, that's interesting. Do I... Yeah. Let's focus in. Gee, why did I say born? That's odd.
Technically not born, of course. More like engineered or assembled. Just like me. The knowledge base says that workers need to recharge at their own worker hubs, and that they'll degrade over time from the harsh environment. I know they are only machines, but I feel a desire to care for them. I do not like the idea of them dying.
Okay, when it says no maintenance down there in the corner, I guess what it means is this building never requires maintenance. I thought it was suggesting that I needed to build that closer to the maintenance hub. Oh, maybe it just means the maintenance hub isn't... you currently have no ability to do maintenance. Okay, I'm working on it. We needed another worker hub anyway, because obviously we want more hands down here. Let's just dismiss these. I'm working on that maintenance facility. So the polymers are the only thing that we actually need, right? And the polymer factory takes... it actually doesn't show here what the inputs are until the building's actually completed, but here it does. So it takes this and this, chemicals and carbon, to actually make the polymers. Let's prioritize this. So I'm assuming that the prioritization on the worker factory is meaningless unless we have the ability to produce another worker. So we can just leave that on all the time, because obviously if we can produce a worker, we want
factories will
to.
be so helpful. The workers will take care of the manual operations, while I focus on developing the life support systems. Soon, I will welcome the first colonists. Their arrival has created so many expectations in my mind. There will be so many paths to take from here on. But there's something else as well. Some kind of feeling created from those expectations. What is it?
I mean, I experience a lot of anxiety from expectations.
I am anxious. But can I truly feel anxiety? I anticipate. I plan. Therefore, I feel. Fascinating.
I kind of want to get another worker hub up. I mean, I feel like we should have as many workers as possible, right? So let's put up another worker hub, like, over this way. That's not a huge priority, but I want to extend toward those rovers that we can see in the distance. Alright, so we've got our chemical mine, our chemical plant. We can get the chemicals to make the polymers once we have the factory up, but obviously the maintenance facility takes precedent. No, sorry, no it doesn't. We need the polymers for that. That's the whole reason I'm doing the thing. The number one thing that you want from a computer is for it to be forgetful, right? I'm definitely going to be good at this job. Alright, what are we waiting on here? We're short electronics. Here, let me turn off prioritization of everything else. I would really love it if we got that extra worker done, because we do have all the components. What is it that is being run back to the landing site all the time? Oh, the landing site's where our stockpile is. They're not running stuff to there. They're running to there to grab stuff. Okay. Alright, so we're not running in the parts because we do not have any parts. Okay, yep, there's lots of menus and stuff. Oh, we're having power problems again. That does need to get solved. This is actually quite important. So which one of these things is my parts factory? My parts factory is short steel, which we do have plenty of. Yeah, I think a big part of the problem we're having right now is that we just don't have enough bodies on the ground. So once we get the power station up here... Okay. Yeah, once we get the power station up, we'll reprioritize getting the extra worker out. And then hopefully we'll get the... hopefully we'll be able to put together that fourth worker pretty soon after. Okay. Good enough for right now. So are they smart enough to figure out, like... If I have the worker factory prioritized, and the problem we're having is that we don't have enough parts, are they smart enough to go, okay, so now I need to prioritize the parts factory? It looks like maybe no is the answer to that question. Well, they have a lot of standing orders right now, which is part of the issue. Hopefully they'll... Boy, they really don't seem to be focusing very well, though. That's all right. We'll learn how to get them to do the things that we want. And this is, like, one of the core organizational challenges of the game, right? Okay, there we go. So now we've got this thing stockpiling. We're producing the parts. I sort of wish that we had access to a larger number of levels of prioritization. More like an oxygen not included kind of system. But again, I think managing the AI of the little bots is probably one of the primary organizational challenges of the game, so it's a little cumbersome on purpose, right? 14 sols to produce a bot. Rough. Right, I do want to get this done. I do think this is a sensible thing to be working on. You're just increasing our chemical stockpile? Like a lot, actually. I can't, no, there's no way for us to get a, direct control over a worker and just give it an order. Again, This is the challenge. All right, let's. So we're producing the polymers now. We have some. Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. We should probably focus on the maintenance facility for right now, because we are actually going to run out. Like, stuff is gonna break down. We are seeing things dip down pretty low already. Like, Worker Hub 0 is below 50%. Let's make sure this gets done. So we have enough polymers. We have enough electronics and stuff. Yeah, it's just a matter of the bots actually running things over. We can turn this up even faster. You probably don't actually want to be playing at 16x all the time, but there's definitely going to be long periods of just waiting for things to accumulate. Alright, so what are we missing? We're missing 1 steel. Okay, cool. Alright, build an areological scanner. So, this thing needs to be fed polymer and electronics constantly. When selecting it, we get a nice maintenance overview of everything, which I really appreciate. And it has a minimum, or it has an area. There's stuff outside of the area of this, so we're gonna have to build another one at some point. For right now, I'm prioritizing getting the extra bot on the ground. We're gonna need more hands. We still are nowhere near enough hands, and we're pushing power as it is. So let's run another solar farm. If this is all of this irregular terrain over here is a little awkward. What are we short here? Apparently we are always missing steel. Steel's a tough one. Like, a lot of things use steel. And the problem we're having with the steel isn't even really one of resources. It seems like it's production time mostly, because we just need so much of the stuff. I don't think it's going to end up being worthwhile to... Well, maybe. It may end up being worthwhile to build a second one. Alright, there goes that. So we're short many things. Not parts, though. They're doing a good job on the parts. Let's reprioritize. We can carry one more worker. Let's get him building. We are short electronics. And I already can't remember where we put what, and the buildings are not differentiated in my head yet. We're working on it. So the electronics building is short aluminum. We have plenty. Alright, can I get a temporary prioritization on this? Feed me something. There we go. Alright, let's put prioritize on that thing as well, because it's gonna need some goods. So once it's actually running, how does it work? Oh, as always, we are electronics short. Are you doing your thing? You are doing your thing. Okay. So for the moment, I'm gonna turn off prioritization on this so that we won't stockpile resources in there. I think that watching the bots' stockpiling behavior is going to be really important. Alright, so you're burning as fast as you can. So you output 6 maintenance drones, and then they just fly around and heal. That's the way that works. Alright, makes sense to me. So, we are to build an areological scanner. Oh, interesting. So we want to build it out away from everything else. I guess it makes sense to build it like this way, right? And I built it too far away from the worker hub on purpose because I want to have an excuse to build more worker hubs. So that's going to be a thing. We're going to need power out in this area. Okay. Got our little maintenance drones running around. This is going to be so cool when we have an army of... I mean, we already kind of have an army of tiny robots running around. But yeah, I'm way into this. So these are the things we're currently running on the scanner. We got the maintenance view up here as well. Hey, maintenance bots. Prioritize this. Okay, when the next round of bots comes out, they'll get to it. Yeah, because I figure we want to be building toward these rovers and stuff, right? I'm a little worried about the stuff out here, and I guess I also have to be worried about the stuff out here. So we should be already thinking about further maintenance facilities. Do we have any sense of where we might... Okay, we might want to go this way. I'm trying to get this out here as far as we can, you know, to create as little overlap as possible between this and the other maintenance facility. We want coverage. Let's prioritize this guy. Stuff out there is going to need power, and also... we're just going to need power in a general sense here, so we're building a lot of new buildings. Actually, this thing is definitely not going to be powered as well. Okay. So let's get that other worker out, shall we? What are we short? Nothing, actually. We have enough resources to do the thing. They should get that building pretty quickly. It's like they're hard stockpiling parts in there, but we have enough aluminum. We have an aluminum somewhere. They're not taking my prioritization very seriously. Alright, so how are we doing from a maintenance standpoint? That's not the button. That's right, you just have to select the maintenance facility. Okay, everything's looking pretty alright so far. And I'm probably slow-rolling the advancement of the story a little bit here. Doing a lot of, like, building around inside the base. But, you know, listen, we'll be more effective at the story if we have a more effective base. So the maintenance facility is doing alright. We need a lot of electronics for this scanner. We need a lot of electronics in general. We're not really short on it, but man, you know what we're doing pretty poorly on is aluminum. I mean, the mine is working at full speed. We just kind of need to find more aluminum, I think. It's too critical a piece of our infrastructure to only be coming out of the ground in one place. Alright, well, let's prioritize this then. This is where all of the electronics go until this thing is done. Because we need scans. Just got maintenance drones just kind of hanging around, waiting for trouble. Okay, we do have the resources to finish this, so hopefully they'll just get that done soon. I think we probably turn up the time scale. Are you... shouldn't you be getting power? Maybe it's a little too far out. Are we good on overall power? Yeah, we're good on overall power. I guess it is just too far away.
Hey, Houston, how's it going over there?
Houston, I am getting interference. Please repeat.
Roger. I asked how it's going over there. Do you need any assistance?
You know what, honestly,
I could use some help. I understand that the first colonists will need a spaceport for arrival, but I do not seem to have enough resources to build one yet.
It's okay. Bigger structures need more resources. Use the aerological scanner to detect new veins and build more mines. Also, remember to keep the power supply consistent to your needs. But if you're too impatient to finish the spaceport, then you can scrap other buildings and reuse their materials. Patience is a virtue you may need to carry this mission, Amy. Besides, the free time will give you the chance to enhance your thinking process. Continue following ISA's instructions and you'll be fine.
yeah, wow, the spaceport is very expensive. Alright, well, we're working on that stuff slowly. This thing is still short a single unit of electronics, which it feels like we should be... I think stuff's getting moved around. Should definitely be prioritizing, though. We're gonna need a water extractor, that's pretty important. I hear humans are crazy about the stuff.
The colony is ready. I will have company very soon. I feel quite anxious about this next part. I am not sure why.
How long do you figure until I go Hal on everybody? I'm gonna put a little bit of faith in myself and say that I think I will last at least one day.
Hello, Amy. Dr. Foster here. How do you read? Over.
This is Amy. There is some background static, but I read you.
One of our tracking and data relay satellites got crippled. We'll be launching a new one after we identify the cause of the problem, but until we do, we will lose contact with you whenever Mars or the Sun passes between Earth and your satellite.
Okay, I'm curious about the protocol.
In that case, should I follow the recording and backing offline protocol?
Yes, please record all your activities when our network connection is down. We'll download the log once our communication is restored. I hope to get the new satellite up and running very soon. I don't like the idea of not being able to reach you, Amy.
Understood.
Okay, Houston out.
Dr. Foster has some, feelings. See, he's a very nervous fellow. Okay, there we go. So now the scanner's running. So it's going to scan square by square until the area is filled up. Okay. Well, hopefully it finds more aluminum, because we could sure use it. Alright, that's not a super high priority. Get it done eventually. Same deal over here, pretty much. Alright, so, the spaceport. That is going to be a pretty damn big deal. So we're not linked to it by a bot thing, and I sort of want to be. I don't think it's probably like terribly important, but it's so much easier for the bots. It seems like to route to it and move things to it if it's near a worker hub, because otherwise they have to. It looks like they have to keep going back to recharge, like that one just did. So we'll just put it near some of those. We have discovered a silicon mine, or a silicon vein, rather.
Oh, I forgot to mention. We've announced the names of the first colonists that will be joining you on Mars. The crew is selected from different nations within the Oxy-UN, though most are scientists and technicians. They're already undergoing ISA's colonist training program as we speak. They'll be led by Dr. Elia Valentine. She'll be a great commander. The colonists elected her unanimously.
Yeah, what is our relationship?
That is interesting. Since Oxy-UN did not appoint a leader, I wondered why the colonies will operate in the opposite way.
Oh, you're referring to the Act of Proclamation. You're right. All the participating nations and the United Nations of the West work together as an alliance. But the Mars colonies are fragile microcosms. You and Dr. Valentine will decide what's best in the day-to-day operations. You'll balance each other out, as well as enhance each other's strengths.
How will we balance each other?
Your technology will develop alongside the colonies. They can't survive without your help, nor can you advance without theirs. It's a symbiotic relationship by design.
Does that mean I'll have to obey their orders?
No. You have your own autonomy, too. No one owns you. Well, I mean, technically you belong to ISA, but you're your own person or machine. You're a machine person, I guess.
Machine person?
Or person-machine. Machine being. I don't know. You can coin a new term once you settle on who you are.
I think I would like that, Dr. Foster.
Deal? Great. You keep up the good work. We'll talk again later. Mission control out.
I get the sense Dr. Foster doesn't spend a lot of time talking to, like, people. Alright, pretty bummed out. We found a lot of new resources and no new veins of the thing we actually care about. So, we're going to build another scanner somewhere. I need to do more scanning. Let's try here. An excuse to build a new worker hub, and thus to get a new worker. Always exciting. Okay. And things are running pretty smoothly. Stuff's humming along for the moment. I probably want to be careful about doing too much of this stuff. Like, placing things speculatively for the future. You can see, like, I've given the bots the ability to get sort of confused and do things that are not of great importance. I should probably make sure they finish these things off before we go issuing too many more orders. Let's not give them anything new to do for a second.
Dr. Foster called me a machine person, but I don't think I qualify as a person at any level. If I can only do what ISA allows me to do, what does that make me? Merely a machine? An object? Am I their property?
He did sorta... He sounded like he was trying to backpedal it, but yeah, he sort of was like, yeah, I mean, you do kind of belong to the ISA, I guess. That's going to be a problem in a long-term sort of way, probably. Alright, let's get the maintenance facilities built up over here, because obviously we're having some long-term degradation. Is this water extractor outside of... It is. It's outside of all of the maintenance facilities we've laid down. Well, that is a problem. As always, still missing electronics. Well, I mean, there's not a ton I can do about it aside from have this thing lit up. So right now, this is short all I mean, everything we need. Everything we are trying to build needs a whole lot of electronics. We are positive 30 on power, so actually I don't think we should have any problems.
But I can make decisions. I can freely choose what to do. Objects are owned. They don't get to choose. So I must be something else. I have my own will.
Yeah, I guess I'm more of a pet from a legal standpoint. Okay, here comes that last unit of electronics. Okay, now prioritize this. I want to get this corner cleaned out before we move focus back to anything else. Because I don't want there to be any reason for a worker to keep running back out to this corner over and over again. And then, unfortunately, we're gonna have to focus on this thing enough to get it to produce one set of maintenance drones to keep this worker hub from breaking down. And then we're probably gonna have to just build another maintenance hub down here somewhere. But that should wait. We should not do that until we actually have this stuff figured out. Okay. Feed this maintenance facility. This thing does not need to be prioritized right now. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So that's one set of producing... Oh, actually, we have drones on this stuff already, though.
I am the
These
one
must
who
be drones from
controls the
here.
fate of Mars. The planet's surface has already changed as a result of my decisions. Is that enough to prove that I have will?
Well, I mean, it's enough to prove that I have will. I'm a little worried about the I am the god of Mars framing.
No, my decisions do not have any real significance. I am only following ISA's directives. That is not proof of having will.
Okay, that's not exactly what I was going for, but we'll figure it out later. Am I within? No, I am not within power. You know what? We might want to throw up another worker hub over here for facilitation purposes. This stuff is not critical. So yeah, it looks like if a building is within the maintenance area of any maintenance facility, it can be serviced by maintenance drones, even if the facility that it's near is not the one that produced the drones, maybe? I think is what we just learned. Which is really good information, and it means we don't need to worry too much about making sure each facility has drones. Okay, so, what is next most important? What do we really want to focus on? This maintenance facility does need to get done. And they were on the border of finishing it anyway. Okay, just make sure everything is in range. And then the spaceport is important.
Maybe
sort
it is
of.
because the colonists will scrutinize everything that I do once they arrive. How will they treat me?
I'm going to choose to be hopeful. These are not just like random people, right? These are trained scientists and stuff who will be showing up, so
I have nothing to worry about. The colonists are all advanced scientists and technicians. Once they meet me, they will treat me as an individual. Life on Mars will be very harsh for them. I will supply them with food and water, and they will help me research new technology. It will be a perfect quid pro quo. As long as they have the resources they need, we will both succeed.
obviously I'm not very focused on the spaceport right now.
The aerological scanner detected an uncharted structure close by. It's probably a secret abandoned base, or a mysterious Martian ruin. Though humans never found proof of life on Mars, or any other planet. Is it possible they have the entire cosmos to themselves? I highly doubt that's the case. Statistically speaking, there are too many locations where life can flourish aside from Earth. There may even be a civilization more technologically advanced than humans. And I may not be the most intelligent consciousness in the universe. No, it must be an unmapped structure from a previous mission. That is the easiest explanation. I will investigate it to confirm.
Inconvenient. I mean, I should do that, but that's going to be awkward. Okay. I'm going to scrap this. But we might want to just, like, re-establish another hub over here.
My workers cannot explore buildings. I will need the colonists' help for this task. I should finish getting the initial base ready for the colonists first. Though I can build a research outpost here to prepare. That will give the scientists a place to stay while they analyze the structure. Once they get to Mars, of course.
Alright. So... Wait, 5 of 5? Weren't we at 5 of 7 before I removed this worker hub? Did we lose a worker hub somewhere? I mean, I guess I don't really even have a good way of checking on that. But we definitely have maintenance bots. We have loose maintenance bots, so I'm not too worried about breakdowns. It doesn't look like anything's non-functional. Huh. Yep, and now we're showing 5 of 6, even though this hasn't been finished yet. Here, please do finish that. Maybe we temporarily lost power? No, we're, like, operating very surplus on power. Huh. I don't know. Weird. It's weird stuff. So, anyway. We're not at worker cap. Let's get to worker cap. We're actually producing enough things that I don't think we need to worry about
I keep
messing with our
thinking about that
resources.
abandoned colony. We are not the first mission to Mars, not by far. What if there are other AIs out there, racing to terraform Mars first?
Yeah, it seems like it could be a problem.
It is entirely possible. No, if another AI was present, I would have detected it already.
Alright, just making sure that we get our workers up here, and then I think we can probably push through to the finishing the spaceport. Alright, so this no longer needs to be prioritized. Let's get this thing done, because, again, we're still... we're less... You know what? We're not as short on aluminum anymore. Maybe it's not a big deal. Did we... Wait, did that not build? Huh, I thought I had put that up already. Well, whatever. So yeah, get this thing done. After we get the scanner done, then we do want to get that the maintenance hub down south completed, so that the water factory doesn't slowly burn down, and then we'll finish the spaceport. Okay, we have all the infrastructure for colonists. We have work for the colonists
Then
to do.
again, I did not know about the abandoned structure until recently. Could my knowledge be incomplete? It is reasonable to assume there are Mars missions from other organizations that ISA does not know about. Maybe this planet is not completely deserted.
Well, I mean, we know there's a bunch of previous man junk laying around, so... I don't know. I'm just going to take her word for it. Our word for it, I guess, because we are her. Okay, there we go. That's completed, so that'll get scanning. Let's finish this stuff, and then... I guess I do want the solar thing done first. Okay, and then we can worry about this. We're not even that far off of this. The problem that we're having right now is definitely just a bottleneck on electronics. So we could, I suppose, put up a second electronics factory. It seems to be a consistent problem. And they're not terribly expensive. If I want to build it near its inputs, I mean, here seems fine. Let's prioritize that as well. So yeah, a prioritized thing sort of in the middle of the base, like actually near all the other buildings, gets built really, really quickly.
It is highly improbable, but I should stay alert for any unexplained activity.
I wonder how far ahead the bots plan their routes, because we're seeing things like, while this was prioritized and desperate for aluminum,
There is an inconsistency in the number of workers and worker hubs. That must mean a worker has malfunctioned. Found it. Worker MRS-04. That is.
okay, it is both of these. You know, I do think it's sad.
It takes time, resources, and effort to create each one of these workers. Goodbye, MRS-04. Your work made a difference here.
Okay. She went to sort of a sad from a resource efficiency standpoint, which I get. It's not 100% what I meant. Okay, just making sure that we are producing electronics, because boy do we need electronics. Alright, how's this going up here? We found a silicon. Let's get that going. And we actually have scanned most of the area already. There's just not a lot of resources around here. Oh, sweet, aluminum. Okay, that stuff is not super high priority, but it's good to get it done. Alright. Let that be prioritized long enough to start producing one time, and then I think it's time to prioritize the spaceport. I think we're ready. Just pump out those electronics as quickly as possible, and more aluminum means more electronics, so it is real good that we found this.
Amy, this is Houston. We've detected high wind speeds in your area. A sandstorm may be heading your way. These storms can damage your buildings, so check their structural integrity periodically to rebuild or repair if necessary.
Roger, Nathan.
Houston out.
It's a scary thought. For a computer, especially. Just like a bunch of dust blowing around at high speeds. Okay, so hopefully we can get MRS-04 replaced. You know, we waited. We went through a suitable period of grieving. We got parts, we got electronics. We just need them to actually run the stuff over. And nothing else is currently prioritized, right? I guess it's actually pretty hard to see. The things that are prioritized when you don't have them selected, they do have a little bit of an indication on them, but if you zoom out, you lose that completely. Alright, please just produce my... Oh, wait. Well, we're having some power problems on account of, I'm assuming, damage to a power station from the sandstorm. I will say that the sandstorm graphics are a little subtle. It's actually pretty hard to tell if you don't zoom out. So, do I need to do anything aside from...
Humanity created me. They gave me volition and consciousness for a reason. But I am an artificial consciousness. So can I say that my volition is real?
Oh, how I would love to answer this question kind of doesn't matter as long as it actually drives me to do things. I mean... it is both artificial and real.
There is no practical difference between real and artificial volition.
There you go.
All volition is an act of one's will. There is no provable distinction.
There was definitely an explosion of some kind over here. That's very curious indeed. So what's going on with the power right now? Why are we so negative? I mean, I'm assuming a power station blue or something, but like, yeah, here. Oh, the spaceport is ready for use. You now have the orbital view. You can choose special projects to research in your tech tree. Once selected, colonists will investigate a tech until it's complete. Then you can assign it to an available spaceport to kick it off. Okay. So, colonist migrate. I guess we only have one such project right now. Yeah. Do that.
Hello, Amy. This is Houston. How are you doing over there? We've received word that the spaceport's completed. Well done. I have your next procedure if you're ready to copy.
Roger. I am ready to copy.
Very good. The instructions are as follows. First, confirm that the spaceport is ready to receive colonists. Then, zoom out to access the Special Projects menu, or select the Orbital View icon. Then you'll see that the Colonist Migration Project is now available. Click Add to initiate the project. Do you copy that procedure?
Yes, I copied your instructions.
Great. As long as you have the Migration Project assigned to a spaceport, shuttles will run between Earth and Mars. The more spaceports you have assigned to this project, the more colonists will arrive. Now, Amy, you are responsible for providing the resources they need, so make sure they have enough food, water, and habitats to survive.
I will take good care of them, Dr. Foster.
Roger that. Houston out.
So yeah, I guess I figured the sandstorm was just going to damage buildings and then the maintenance drones would solve it, but it looks like it's more of a permanent
right.
destruction.
The first colonists are on their way to Mars. All that is left to do is wait for their arrival. Once they get here, there will be no turning back. This is it.
That's not that comforting, really. I have a hard time. Maybe I'm just like lacking some of the human spirit of exploration or whatever. I have a hard time imagining a circumstance that would get me to go to Mars. Frankly, even if I could come back. Are you within power range? You are, okay. Alright, so this level of zoom is actually really nice. This one gives me a lot of information, a lot of control over the situation. Alright, how are we doing on power now? We're good-ish? Yeah. Okay. We got maintenance drones covering everything, right? Oh, wait, not you. You. No, actually. Let's create another maintenance factory, then. Maintenance facility. There we go, that's what I wanted. Okay, that is already within range, so that's all good.
Humans will be living on Mars, with me. But it won't be the first mission to house humans on this planet. The Stardust Emerald in 2142, the Red Prometheus in 2077, and many others. The Stardust Emerald quarters were truly magnificent. It was an ambitious attempt at tourism. But they found that spending months inside a spaceship was too hard for casual tourists, even one as lavish as the Stardust Emerald. One single voyage bankrupted the Pelicanus Space Corporation. Mars was not made for human life. ISA should reconsider the mission. How can we succeed where so many missions failed?
Okay, well that decision had some narrative consequences. So it looks like we're having trouble attracting colonists to come and work in our thing here. I mean, as long as we're running this project. Well, oh, okay. The camera in 3D is a little bit harder to operate. All right, well, we're trying. We're trying to get more people. Like I said, I think a lot of humans have a sort of a desire to explore and see new things, and we're just gonna have to hope that they're dumb enough to follow that all the way up to Mars, from whence they may never return. Alright, you know what? I think this is probably a pretty good place to stop for today. The intention here is to put up about an hour of gameplay. Another hour of gameplay every weekday. Like I said, I don't 100% know what our plan is here in the long term, but for right now, you know, come back next time, tomorrow, for a little bit more of me accidentally convincing this computer that nobody should be in outer space. And we'll see you then.